morning, greetings, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, if you have a comment or success story or question about something you may have heard about, read about, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. We want to be your go-to source for all things health and nutrition. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase longevity products, or if you want to sign up to join the Brightside Ben team, head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. 866-735-2470. You can click on the Join the Team link at the websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or you can sign up to join the Brightside Ben team by calling 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. And don't forget to check out our Truth Skin Health products, including our brand new retinol spot treatment made with retinol, salicylic acid, and vitamin C and vitamin E, and medium chain triglycerides for transdermal penetration, and that's it. That's all we put in our Truth Retinol Roller. All my Truth formulations are minimalist formulations. They're just active and functional ingredients. I took all the fillers out, and the thickeners out, and the waxes out, and the water out, and the oil out, and nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want. A retinol roller is a very cute little roller ball, glass roller ball bottle that you can keep in your purse for dabbing on blemishes. If you catch the blemishes before they form into full-blown zits, you won't even get the pimple. You can use it as spot treatment for dark spots, for hyperpigmentation. You can also use it for bug bites. It'll actually help heal and stop the itching of mosquito bites and such. All our Truth Treatments, Truth Treatment products are available at truthtreatments.com. Truthtreatments.com. We have free shipping for the next couple of weeks till the first of the year. So check it out. Check out all our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. Truthtreatments.com. All right, welcome back to The Bright Side. We are talking about electricity, electrons, pieces of electricity in the body. I hope nobody out there is thinking that this is too airy-fairy for practical use, because it's not. If we're sick, we're electrically sick. And when we're healthy, we're electrically healthy, and nutrients work because they're electrical. And understanding the electrical nature of the body will help us use nutrients more effectively. It'll help us do everything more effectively in terms of health. Health is electricity. Electricity is energy. From a physical perspective, I'm using those two terms synonymously. Electricity, energy as I use it on this program, refers to electricity. So I'm going to use those terms synonymously. Electricity is energy. Energy is electricity. Life is energy. Life is electricity. Health is energy. Health is electricity. Healing is energy. Healing is electricity. Disease is energetic. And and disease is electrical. In the world of medicine, when we talk about energy, we're talking about energy medicine. You've heard that term, energy medicine. It's electricity medicine. Energy medicine sounds all woo-woo, airy-fairy. Electricity medicine is literal. You can actually see electricity as medicine. You can actually see the the medical value of electricity. And it's been known for at least 150 years that the body has this macro electrical way of existing. It really is the end result of macro electricity. Luigi Galvani first talked about that in the 18th century. Today, though, typically your most conservative, orthodox, mainstream practitioner is going to think that's just airy-fairy stuff. It's not. The human body is a field. This is really, really important. It's not just mental or abstractly fascinating, which it is, but the fact that it's a field means that it's flexible. It's not solid. The body's not solid. It looks solid, but it's not solid. Looks are deceiving. And by the way, that's true about our entire reality. The fact that the body is a field and that everything that exists is a field means that it's not solid, it's not static, it's flowing, it's dynamic. From the most basic and fundamental perspective, the body is constantly in flux. It's constantly changing. We can't see it with our eyes, but we can see it with other things. You may have seen it yourself with infrared detectors. Infrared detectors can spot changes in the body, biochemical changes in the body as light. It can spot the changes and then turn it into light. And if you see an infrared detection picture of the body, basically a computer scan of the body, you'll see that it's flowing, that the body is in this constant flowing change. The colors are constantly changing. People who have seen auras have known that for thousands of years. That's what an aura is. An aura is a reflection in light and in color of what's happening from at a biochemical perspective. Do you know your DNA is emitting light? Your cells are emitting light. They're very tiny pieces of light, just like tiny pieces of electricity or electrons. These are photons, biophotons. We haven't really talked about that. That's pretty darn cool, that our cells are emitting light, and you can use that light to see if there's cancer or if there's inflammation or if there's anything that's not happening as it should. That's how medicine of the future is going to detect disease, by the way, with biophotons, or detecting biophotons. We've only known about those for about 50 or 60 years. There's a lot of stuff that we are just now confirming about how the body works. By just now, I mean the last 100 years or so, that ancient people have known for millennia. Quantum healing. You've heard that term, I'm sure. Quantum healings. It has unfortunately devolved into marketing nonsense. People selling weird devices, and there's a lot of scammery that goes with it. But the reason we have scammery, by the way, in quantum healing and quantum medicine is because we don't really understand it. Nobody's really talking about how the stuff is working at a fundamental level. So it means that we're more predisposed to falling for baloney. But quantum healing is a real thing. Quantum healing, quantum biology. Quantum biology, that's another really fascinating substance, how the end result of biological, what we see as an end result of biological processes really begins at the quantum level. This is not airy-fairy, folks. This is real science, peer-reviewed journals. Just go to scholar.google and look up quantum biology. It's a really, really fascinating branch of medicine, of biology, as well as of medicine and health. Deepak Chopra, before he became kind of a caricature, and I'm not saying that I think he's a caricature, he sort of made himself into a caricature, but that should not marginalize the incredible things he talks about and has talked about. Absolutely incredible. And if you're sick, you definitely want to listen to his YouTubes. Anyway, he was talking about it in the 1980s. He started talking about this idea of quantum healing. And basically, it's just the idea that even though we believe that the body and its processes are things, are nouns, we are a diabetic, our body is the way it appears to be in the mirror, we're ignorant of the body as an electrical field. But if you understand what Deepak Chopra was talking about, you could see that leveraging the power of the body as a field can be in our interest, in our health interest. We can actually utilize nutrition more effectively. We can utilize exercise more effectively. If we're coherent in the sense that we use our mind and our consciousnesses at the same time as we use our nutritional supplements and we do our exercise in the other parts of the fourfold square of health. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this. are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com. You can also purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, and you can sign up to join the Brightside Ben team off our websites as well. brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. All right, so we're talking about the nature of the body as a quantum electrical system, a biofield, and as cool as I think that is, and hopefully some of you guys think that's cool too, from a practical standpoint, it just means that if we have a disease, we don't really have a disease, we're diseasing, which I've said for years. We're verbs, not nouns. And at the most fundamental level, our bodies change all the time. And they change in response to lots of things. They change in response to nutrition. They change in response to exercise and movement. They change in response to toxicity. They change in response to oxygen. We call that the fourfold square of health. These are just ways the body changes. But if you understand that the body is changing and flexible, it's not just the fourfold square of health that's going to change the body. Lots of things will change the body, including our emotions. That changes the body at the quantum level, at the electrical level. Our thoughts change the body at the quantum level, at the electrical level. This is what people have been saying for years, and there has been considered woo-woo, the idea that thoughts can change your body and emotions can change your body. But if you start working at these levels, these quantum levels where everything comes out of, it makes more sense. Because every time you think, you change the quantum field. Every time you feel, you change the quantum field. Your consciousness changes the quantum field. I'm not making that up. That's something that's been known about by physicists for 100 plus years, since they had quantum physics. So all this energy stuff is really electrical. Energy sounds woo-woo. Electricity is real. Bioelectricity. But see, when we think about electricity, we think about the kind of electricity that runs our electrical stuff, our lights and our computers and our TVs and our fans and our whatever, our printers and everything else that's electrical that we have in our world. We know about that. We don't really know what it is, but we know how it works, kind of. You turn a switch on and electricity flows and the light goes on. But what we don't recognize is the macro world has a micro or even a femto, that's even smaller, nano, femto, pico, thousand, millions, trillions of times smaller world. There's a world that exists that is trillions of times smaller than the world we see. Now, can you? No, of course not. We can't imagine what that's like. But you can see that it's really small. If you could shrink yourself into a world that's a trillion or tens of trillions of times smaller than the world we exist, what is that world going to look like? Well, it'll look like the world of the quantum, which is at the base of everything we see. But what's cool about the world of the quantum is that that's where we have control. Actually, what's cool about the world of the quantum is that's where health shows up, or health fundamentally resides. That's where it is born. It's not where it shows up, not where we see it, but it's where it's born. Same with disease. And here's what's really cool. The quantum world is very, very, very flexible. Very flexible. It changes with our thoughts, with our consciousnesses. The quantum world is in something called superposition. That means it's everywhere. Don't even ask. How can that be? Quantum things don't exist in one spot. They exist everywhere. Remember I said trillions of times smaller than our world. It's really weird. Things are very strange, trillions of times smaller than our world. And one of the strange things is everything is everywhere. I know that sounds bizarre, but that's exactly what it is. Oh, you say, oh, well, that can't be. Well, guess what? Because of this phenomena of superposition, we're now building quantum computers. So, and then they're prototype quantum computers. Superposition is a real thing. That is things existing everywhere, only on the quantum level. But still, that gives us power. That means that if everything is everywhere, if we could figure out what is it that makes it all of a sudden somewhere, how do things go from everywhere to somewhere? How does something go from everything's possible, this one thing is happening, if we could figure out that transition point, we would be really powerful. And if health resides there, we could turn health into disease. Or we could turn disease into health and health into disease, basically. That's what Deepak Chopra talks about. The book Quantum Healing. The whole book is all about how the quantum world can change based on our consciousness and our thoughts and our feelings, and how we can take advantage of that. It has titles in here. What you see, you become. The mystery of the gap. The gap is where you're in superposition. Nowhere and everywhere. That is superposition. These are titles from his book, Quantum Healing. Super cool book. Came out in the 1980s. And this is what mind-body medicine is all about. Don't let anybody tell you that mind-body medicine is not real. It is as real as quantum physics is real. The idea that mind creates matter, or mind creates health, or mind creates the body. This is what they call it the Copenhagen interpretation, which is the physics version of this. In the early 1920s, a bunch of physicists got together, the big boys of the time, Niels Bohr and Max Born, and they just, if you know anything about quantum physics, the heroes of early quantum physics, they got together in Copenhagen and they came up with the Copenhagen interpretation that says that at the quantum level, at the very, very basic level, things do not exist in one state or another. Quote, quantum particle, which is basically things, quote, doesn't exist in one state or another, but in all of its possible states at once. It's only when we observe its state that a quantum particle is essentially forced to choose one probability, and that is the state we observe, unquote. That's the Copenhagen interpretation of physics. It's not just physics, it's the body. It's our observation. It's our perception. It's how we see the world that makes the world, which is just scientific confirmation of what philosophers have talked about for centuries, what the ancient Chinese talked about, and the ancient Indians talked about, Hindus talked about. So in the world of the world is energetic. The world is electrical. Energetics and electricity is quantum. And quantum is ultimately controlled by the mind, by our consciousnesses. Mind as creator of the body means that through the choices we make, through the decisions we take and actions we take in response to what we think about, in response to our mental choices, that is, we decide to exercise, we choose to exercise, we decide to supplement, we choose to eat at McDonald's. Through the choices we make, we will create our bodies, all because of, number one, mental beliefs, perceptions, and then actions. And by the way, that means that if you're taking actions, but you're somehow not getting the results you want, the chances are pretty good that you haven't worked on the consciousness level yet, that you're just trying to do, that's called rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. You need a new boat. You need a new ship. And that's where consciousness begins. Rearranging the deck chairs, that's your nutrition and that's your choices. And yes, you can have a nicer boat by rearranging the deck chairs, but you want to have a really solid, strong boat, and that's where consciousness comes in, and our ability to make choices and leverage mental and emotional aspects of our being.
Hi, this is
Okay, we are back on the bright side, and I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening. 844-236-6010 is our phone number, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about anything we're speaking about here today, health challenges you or a loved one may be dealing with, nutritional supplement questions, or if you have a comment or success story you'd like to share, if you want to talk about our Truth Skin Health products, which are all available at truthtreatments.com, or the Longevity products, which are available at criticalhealthnews.com, brightsideben.com, or pharmacistben.com. That's why we are here. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls just a moment. From the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, study shows magnesium optimizes vitamin D status. A randomized trial by Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center researchers Magnesium was found to optimize vitamin D status, raising it in people with deficient levels and lowering it in people with high levels. I love that idea. There are nutrients like vitamin D and also vitamin A, which are said to be normalizers. They're intelligent nutrients. They pull the ups, they push the ups down, and they pull the downs up. If you have low levels of vitamin D, magnesium will pull the vitamin D levels upwards. If you have high levels, they'll push them downwards. Vitamin A does the same thing with cell growth and cell division. Cells that are dividing too rapidly slow down when there is enough vitamin A present, and vice versa. When they're growing too slowly, the division and the growth of the cells are sped up with vitamin A. These nutrients are intelligent. A and D work together. A and D are not even really vitamins. They're actually hormones. Most of you guys know that. Vitamin D is unbelievably important. Unbelievably. Nonetheless, you can't just supplement with vitamin D and expect to get the benefits or maximize the benefits. The way you get vitamin D is from the sun. Make sure you get enough sun. Don't let this holiday season stress or worsen your allergies or asthma. Reducing stress can cut your risk of allergy and asthma symptoms during the holidays. Why is that? Well, cortisol. When cortisol goes up, your immune system becomes suppressed, it becomes weakened, and it's more prone towards allergic reactions. It's more prone towards asthma symptoms. If your immune system is weakened, the big guns will come out and you'll end up symptomatic. Under normal circumstances, when the immune system is strong, it can handle things without you being symptomatic. If you become symptomatic as an immune response, the chances are you're under duress. That duress can be psychological or emotional, like if you're dealing with holiday season problems, or it can be digestive distress. Digestive distress can also lead to lead to allergic reactions and asthma. Not food allergies only, but allergic reactions to pollen and asthma. This is such an important and underappreciated connection. No allergist will tell you that your pollen allergy, your hay fever, is related to the digestive system. But if you understand how the body is all put together, you'll say, well, yeah, they're both immune reactions. They're both places where the immune system works, in the digestive system and with allergies. Likewise with asthma. Asthma should always be backtracked, and also seasonal allergies, backtracked to the gut. No surprise, everything needs to be, but this is just so logical because they're both reflections of how well or how healthy the digestive system / immune system is. Allergies and asthma are a reflection of how healthy the immune system / digestive system is. All right, we'll do one more here and get your calls, 844-236-6010. Government dietary guidelines just plain wrong. No surprise here. Avoid carbs, not fat. America's facing a chronic disease crisis. The federal government is fueling that crisis, promoting flawed nutritional advice that contradicts the latest research. This is from the website thehill.com. An article that talks about numerous studies, including one that was recently published in the journal Lancet, that found that eating good fats, including full-fat dairy, is associated with lower rates of obesity. While researchers show that carbohydrates is much worse than originally assumed. Carbohydrate ingestion is much worse than originally assumed. Excessive carb intake is linked to diabetes, cancer, and heart disease. Those are the big three, folks. Cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Why? Dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar. To me, the tragedy of diabetes is epic. It's biblical. It is so unnecessary. It is so gratuitous. I have never done a radio program for more than an hour where we take calls for more than an hour where I don't get at least one question, usually multiple questions about diabetes. About what do I do for diabetes? To me, this is the craziest idea, that we are so disassociated from the mechanism, from what's actually happening inside the body when you have messed up blood sugar and diabetes, that we don't know what to do. Because we're thinking it's a word, a noun, but it's an actual process, a verb. That's why I call it dysglycemia. Diabetes is just a mysterious word, but messed up blood sugar is a descriptive process. It tells you exactly what it is. Diabetes is messed up blood sugar, period. How do you deal with messed up blood sugar? Well, it's in the blood and it's sugar, right? It's blood sugar. So if it's messed up, that means the blood is messed up and the sugar is messed up. So how do you clean the blood? How do you fix the blood? The digestive system, because that's the only way things get into the blood. How do you change the sugar? The digestive system, because for the most part, that's how the sugar gets into the blood. It's just food. Diabetes is a digestive and food condition. And when you read this article about how the government is telling us to eat more carbs, you understand why we can have this kind of problem. Because guess what? Your doctor is basing his protocols and his diagnoses and his interpretations of what's going on in the body from what he read from the government, from what the government's telling him. That's where medicine and the government work hand in hand. So, of course, we're going to have a problem, and of course, we're going to be ignorant. In the mainstream, unless you're listening to this program and programs like it, the mainstream is going to get information from the doctor, and the doctor gets the information from the government, and the government's information is wrong. And all you got to do is understand a little biochemistry, and not a lot, just a little bit about what the body is to understand why they're wrong. Carbs get turned into sugar. Fat gets turned into sugar, too, eventually, but at a much slower pace. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you're diabetic, get on the chromium, vanadium, get on the sweeties, get on the B vitamins, start using magnesium and selenium, and most importantly, reduce your intake. Pay no attention to what you read from the government or hear from your doctor. Reduce your intake of carbohydrates, with the exceptions of vegetables, which you should be eating lots of. All right, 844-236-6010. Let's say good morning to Steve in California. Steve, we're going to take a commercial break here, buddy. So real quick, what's your question? I'll put you back on hold.
Okay, what I wanted to ask was, I have ED issues, erectile dysfunction.
Got it.
I'm thinking about, I've been a longevity distributor for years, for 3 years.
How old are you,
now.
Steve? How old are you, buddy?
65 years old.
Okay, and then height. What's your height to weight? That's the most important thing to ask anybody who's 65 and has ED. What's your height to weight?
I'm 202 and I'm 5'11".
Okay, well, I would venture to say that you're not middle linebacker 202 and 5'11", correct?
That's right.
Okay. All right. So we'll talk when we get back, but that's where your problem's gonna be. So don't go away. All right, Steve?
Okay.
All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this. Back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We're talking to Steve in California about ED. And also, you were saying something, you want to use testosterone, Steve? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I see all these advertisements around, using these supplements that's supposed to...
That help you with testosterone.
Yeah, it increasing the nitric oxide.
Let me tell you about those. That's a great question. That's an awesome question, okay? Because you see these formulations that are targeted to help specific parts of the body. ED, for example, is one thing, or sometimes you'll find skin stuff or various supplements for various weight loss for very specific needs. I believe that the body needs to be taken care of as a whole, not just the parts in specific. ED is the end result of biochemistry that's messed up. Okay. Now, if you did straight testosterone, you might help your ED, but because if you haven't corrected the biochemical problems, you could make matters worse. And testosterone supplementation is associated with cancer and other health challenges, mostly because people try to drive the production of things, make things happen without having the raw materials to take care of the business, to take care of the business at the most fundamental level. So if you're missing vitamin C and you're missing zinc and you're missing magnesium, but you try to rev the body up with a hormone like testosterone, you could have problems. Okay. So the best thing to do is to work at the most foundational level. Now, ED, if you listen to this program, you know that it always boils down to a blood sugar problem or a digestive problem. Okay. Now, once the blood sugar is messed up, you tend to gain weight. When you gain weight, female hormone is made in body fat, and female hormone will mess up your sexual performance. Female hormone is anti-libido, and it will keep you from being able to perform sexually. So ED is related to a combination of sugar problems and female hormone problems. So what you want to do, and if you're you said you're 5'10", 202, and you have ED, chances are pretty good you have other problems too. You may have high blood pressure issues. You may have kidney issues. You may have problems with body fat, too much body fat, in addition to the ED, because it's all part of the same thing. Okay. So once you correct the blood sugar, everything else is going to improve. If you just take an ED supplement or testosterone, you can't. Not only is everything else not going to improve, but you can make matters worse. Okay. So if you do it at the foundational level, work on your blood sugar first, always first, and then the digestive system, and I say first, maybe simultaneously, the digestive system and the blood sugar system. Okay? All right, now I'd be staying away from any fast-burning sugars, because that turns into fat, and that'll make you feminize you. It's interesting because men become feminized and domesticated by the standard American diet. Did you know this?
No, I didn't know.
The standard American diet makes us pussycats and not lions. I'm serious. Okay. It dumbs us down. It turns the dial down on our testosterone, on our edge, on our manliness, on our masculinity. So every time you see a commercial for McDonald's, you should interpret that commercial as another tentacle of the powers that be that are entering into your body and making you less of a man. Okay. Do you understand that? That's what the golden arches should represent to everybody. More pussycat, less lion. It's a way we get dumbed down. It's a way we lose our edge. So you want to stay away from that kind of food. You want to stay away from food in general, because calories in general will feminize you and will domesticate you. Calories in general will do that. The body doesn't do its best work when it has an abundance of calories. It does its best work when there's a deficiency in calories. Are you with me?
Yes.
So treating yourself like a warrior. Get a book called The Warrior Diet. Then you might want to do that. That's got some great stuff in it about being a warrior. Does that make sense? The difference between being a lion and a pussycat? All the stuff
I got you, man. I really appreciate it, too.
Okay, good. Okay, so that's really where you want to focus on. Weightlifting will help you. More protein will help you. Certainly the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, that goes without saying. I would take extra zinc, 50 milligrams a day of zinc. Everything we talk about as far as building nutrients, vitamins A and D, are really those are really lion nutrients, if you will, as opposed to pussycat food, which is what the carbs are, and the desserts, etc. All right, I'm going to move on, Steve. Thank you so much for your call. Hope I helped you. All right, take care. All right, Carolyn in Washington. What's going on? Good morning, and welcome to the bright side.
Thank you. Hi, Ben. My daughter in her mid-40s got hit by vertigo. I want to know the cause.
She got hit by vertigo. Well, two things. How old is she?
Mid-40s.
Does it get worse when she stands up?
Sometimes. It just depends. She's got a doctor that's helping her, but I want to know how she got in this situation.
Well, hang on. Is it the kind of thing that's steady right through the day? She's always got it, or it gets worse when she does certain things?
Worse when she does certain things.
Okay. Usually when that happens, that's related to the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are your body's stress glands. Now, I'm not saying there's not a problem in her brain. It could be. It could be something going on, inflammation usually in the inner ear or the brain, or where we interpret sounds.
Yeah, that's what they're working on.
It could be that, but it could also be adrenal issues, or it could be both. So first thing, if to clear the adrenal glands, have her do things like before she stands up or does a quick movement or gets out of bed, have her do slow, deep breathing and then get up very slowly. See if that makes a difference. That will implicate the adrenal glands. Drinking salt water can also, if that helps, that's also an adrenal issue, and that will kind of improve the vertigo if it's based in adrenal problems. And then also using adrenal nutrients as well as the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. Zinc is very important. Vitamin C is very important for the adrenal glands. Vitamin B12 and all the B complex are important for the adrenal glands, B5 particularly. And then also electrolytes, and then just the basic Mighty 90 essential nutrient supplement program. That would be important as well. If it is vertigo that's in the brain or in the inner ear, and if she's only 40, that would be unlikely, I would say. Usually that only happens when you're older, but it could be something it probably is something that's getting into the blood that's causing inflammation in that area. Usually when there's an inflammatory response, not usually, but always when there's an inflammatory response, it's a defensive response. If it's a defensive response, that means something has gotten into the body that is offensive, that is offending, and that usually means, unless she's injecting it in through her skin, that's going to mean food and digestion. So see if the issue, the vertigo, the dizziness, gets worse when she eats certain foods, gets better when she lays off of foods as when she fasts, and kind of assess what's going on inside her body by manipulating what she's putting into her body vis-a-vis foods in general, just any foods, that is using fasting and foods, and then specific foods, noticing when her condition flares up, and then working appropriately in the digestive system through the elimination diet and all the things we talk about for digestive health, including the nightly essence and digestive enzymes and bone broth and high hyaluronic acid and glucogel, etc. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
I hope I helped you. Thank you. God bless you, and good luck with everything. And let's go to California and say good morning to Tony. Hey, Tony, what's up? Tony? My buddy Tony in Santa Cruz? I don't think we got Tony. Tony, are you listening to your radio? Tony. I'm going to take...
Hello.
Tony, what are you doing? Would you put me on hold?
I was doing my laundry. Sorry. No, I didn't put you on hold at all. No, I just have a question for a guy named David who's exactly your size and age, and he's got 2 degenerated discs, and he's wondering what the mechanism is.
The mechanism is deterioration. It's the blood coming to the cartilage in the disc, not getting nourished, not getting oxygen, and being toxic. Same thing that causes any kind of deterioration. Anything that builds he wants to build connective tissue. The discs are made up of connective tissue, like the joints are made of connective tissue, like the vascular system and the digestive system and the skin, etc. So building connective tissue is your strategy for that. You do it from 2 ways. Number 1, reducing anything that the input of anything, the ingestion of anything that destroys connective tissue. Sugar is connective tissue's arch enemy. Cigarette smoke is also an arch enemy of connective tissue. I'm assuming he doesn't smoke, but he probably is getting too much sugar. There's a chemical reaction that occurs between sugar and connective tissue called glycation. And so keeping his sugar intake down is very important. And then building the connective tissue with gelatin and the glucogel caps and vitamin C, the ultimate EFAs, fucoidan Z, the nightly essence, bone broth and bone broth protein, ultimate EFAs. The ultimate enzymes won't necessarily help him build connective tissue, but they'll help him absorb connective tissue nutrients, and they'll reduce inflammation and pain. So don't forget those. CM cream and CM capsules can help with the pain too. So basically, you're going to reduce the input of things that mess up the building of connective tissue, cause its deterioration, put in substances that help build connective tissue, and then use a few miscellaneous things if he wants to just get rid of the pain. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for your call, Tony. Appreciate it. And thank you to all my smart Brightside listeners. I appreciate and love all you guys. Please check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for the longevity products, and truthtreatments.com for all our Truth Skin Health products. Truthtreatments.com got free shipping for you for the next couple of weeks at truthtreatments.com. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
Many Americans suffer from poor digestion, which can adversely affect their health.
For you guys who have digestive issues, glutathione is amazingly important for inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, stomach cancer. The glands of the stomach produce lots of glutathione. So glutathione's got multiple roles to play, and one of the best ways to upregulate to make more glutathione is to take the building blocks, glycine being one.